Hey, so about 2 weeks ago, I went to a track with a couple of my friends, and this was my first time stepping on a track. I've never seen track in my life, apart from on the TV. So that was quite a good experience and eye opener. Just watching everyone riding their motorcycle to the full capabilities made me realize I don't actually understand my bike well, or I have a bike which is way beyond my capabilities. I'm planning to take my bike on a track sometime in August and slowly starting to prep my bike for track. I've already ordered the Brembo master cylinder, which I have, but we are just missing a bit, which once that arrives, we'll be putting on the Brembo cylinder. I'm also changing the brake pads to better ones. I've already ordered a 200 tire, which you can see with the chicken strips at the back right now. I'll be changing my front tire as well to Power Cup 2, and the only thing I'm missing is the tank grips. Now, most of the tank grips that are in the market for R1 are not really made with the consideration to be put on a tank shroud, but they are to be used without the tank shroud, means they go on the metal part of the tank. For example, if you take something like Easy Tank grips, these are fantastic grips, but to be used only with the tank without the shroud. Now, if I put these grips on a shroud, you will notice they have this whole entire patch of the shroud that is not having any sort of grip on it. It means I have this much less grip between my thighs and the shroud. And I'm completely aware that you can buy a sheet of grip and then cut it into the shape of the part you're putting it on. Now, I'm more of a status guy and I want it to look clean and neat, so that's why I didn't go that route. This video is sponsored by Artispeed Tech. Let's unbox. Let's go over the contents of this box. Let me put the grips away and go over the paperwork first. So this one, I believe, is just a sheet that tells you how many parts the grip has and which part of the grip goes where on the tank. A small card in Mandarin, which I do not understand, so I'm gonna skip. They also got a couple of stickers in the box which are reflective and I may use them. Finally, they got alcohol wipe to wipe down the tank before you put the grips on. Let's take a look at these grips. So now on first glance, they feel quite unique and something I've not seen before. Feel like they're kind of 3D printed. They're like rubbery, but not really plastic, but 3D printed. So the grip comes in 3 parts. One goes in the main one. There are 2 more parts. One goes here at the bottom fairing and one up top at the back of the shroud. This is the second part of the grip. You can see it covers pretty much almost entire side of the tank shroud. There's one more bit. I'll show you that as well. Now this is the last part of the grip, and this goes about on this panel and pretty much covers the entire surface. Let me show you the grips up close. Now if you see these look quite unique and they're very flexible. They are definitely 3D printed because I can definitely see the layering that's happening up top, and it feels a bit stronger. It's not even plastic. I don't know how to explain. So the thick part is really thick and the thin part is really flexible. So if you see it up close, you can see like sort of layers that's happening between the triangles. And it doesn't come off. I try to pull it, but it's actually pretty strong. So I'm actually keen to see how it holds up when it's been put on a track. You can also see how flexible it is. If I twist and turn, it doesn't tear, but just bends. So yeah, it's rubber 100%. On the flip side, it's being held with 3M VHP automotive tape. So I'm pretty sure these should be fine, but I would probably put a couple more tapes in the blank area in the middle. We'll see how it goes and how it holds up. But you can see how thick and thin it is. The thin part's quite thin and the thick part is quite solid and durable. It's all made of rubber. Instead of using alcohol wipes, I'm going to use Geon Prep to clean the surface. Now this one is actually to be used before you do ceramic coating, but this one pretty much takes off any sort of contaminations from the paint or plastic bits. I think we are now safe to put on the grips. I'm going to start by removing all the red tapes just to expose the adhesive tape underneath. Before I put the grips on, I'm going to heat up the tapes just so it bonds a bit better with the surface. Now that it's heated up, I'm going to carefully align it with the shroud, and I'll probably press it through the middle just to make sure it sticks there, and then I'll go around pressing through the boundary because that's where the tape is, so it kind of firmly bonds with the shroud. I'll do the same for the smaller bit. I'll heat up before I put it on. Once you heat up, it actually becomes really sticky, so just be careful. I think that ideally it will be better if you take the seat off before you put it on, but I'm going to try to see if I can force it through. I might have to push the seat down just a tad bit just so I can make some spacing for this rubber thing to fit in. There you go. That seems like it. So now you can see it pretty much covered the entire side of the shroud. There's no space, and you should be having constant contact patch between your thighs and the shroud. And I'm having a bit of an issue trying to put this part onto the mat wrap because I have a wrap on my fairing and there's so many tiny perforated holes on my wrap, and that's kind of losing grip and the tape's not really sticking to the fairing. So I think I may just skip this part for now and come back to it later on and try to see how I can make this stick onto the fairing. All right, let me show you how it looks when I sit on it. Okay, so these grips, so this tiny lump here on the grip is actually made to support your knee when you're cornering or when you're tucked in position. So these grips may not be comfortable if you're sitting more like, if your crotch is pretty much touching the crank shroud. They may not be very comfortable. So when you sit, you kind of see your inner thigh kind of hits on this tiny lump, and it could be uncomfortable. But if you're tucked in position where your feet are pretty much the ball of your foot rest on the foot peg, and you're backed up and you're hunched in, they are really comfortable. I think that's the position it's meant for. Now, these are the racing version of these grips. There's a road version as well that you can purchase, which is friendly on the tank without the tank shroud. But you can see how it really wraps around my knee and really gives me support when I'm tucked in. So these are meant for one thing in mind: track and race. So these are the grips made for just racing. They're not your normal road grips. So if you have a bike which is just meant for tracks, maybe these are the grips for you. But if you have a bike that you're gonna daily on the road, go to work, these probably are not comfortable, I feel. Yeah, I'm just trying to see. But they're really grippy. I can assure you these are really grippy. I do not feel, so like if I corner, like this part is kind of touching my inner thigh, and I can grip it here as well. These grips are definitely made so you're always in tucked in position, so your knee falls right into this arch over here. I'm going to do the other side, but I probably won't record it because it's the same process. There's nothing different, and I'll show you the complete look. All right, guys, so I'm pretty much done with the grips, and I had to pull my bite out because it's getting freaking dark. Well, it doesn't look on the camera, but yeah, I don't have enough light in the garage. But as you can see, I'm done with the grips. They look pretty sick. So final verdict, they are really good. I like them. Only thing you have to think about is like if you don't do much track, you might find them uncomfortable on the road. If you do a lot of track, these are amazing because they're meant to be in a tucked in position where your knee falls just on this arch right here. Sorry, just on this arch right here, and it's really comfortable. But you can see the grip that I'm talking about. These cover all the way down from here and on this side. But they look pretty tacky. Love them. I'm going to keep them because I'm going to be going on a track sometime in August, and I'll let you know how they feel on the track. Show you a bit more. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one.